Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. So, y'all, the state of Missouri executed this man. His name is Marcellus Williams, or was named Marcellus Williams. And they executed him last night, although the victim's family had asked that they not execute this man and just give him life in prison. But they decided to execute him anyway. And then after reading the article, I found out that they had evidence to prove his innocence, but something like because somebody in the office touched the knife or touched the evidence that they couldn't use it, it damaged the DNA or something like that, y'all. I'll see it again because I'm about to read this article again while I'm making this video. So I'll see it again, y'all. But this is just crazy, y'all. So we know how the story goes in America. If you are a black man and you violated a white woman, then 9 times out of 10, this is your fate. It's happened so many other times before. They don't care if you're a grown man or a child. Look at what happened to Emmett Till. And that's all because he whistled at a white woman. And although that was back then, y'all, when you think about it, it's not so far ago. It's not so long ago. It's not so long ago. And you still have people with this same type of mentality and with this same type of thinking, which is why you have people who have issues with interracial relationships. I don't care. Love is love. If you love someone, then you love someone. And because you're different races, shouldn't be the reason why you can't be together if you love each other. But you still have people in this country that has issues with that. They would rather see the same sex together than see a black and white couple. So it's just crazy. But this man, y'all, he was supposed to have unalived a white woman back in 1998. And he's been maintaining his innocence. But like I said, the state still executed him, y'all, last night. So let's get into this article, y'all. It's just sad. It's just sad how it is in America for black people. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care however you look at it or whatever. It really is sad in this country for black people. And it's not just America. It's not just America. I've never lived in any other country, but it just seems like everywhere you go throughout the world, if your skin is dark, then people have an issue with you. Or if your skin is dark, then you're already guilty. It's just, I just, y'all, like, it'll never change. It'll never change. But anyway, y'all, let's get into this article. So it says Missouri executes Marcellus Williams after 2 decades on death row. Marcellus Williams was executed on Tuesday night in the U.S. state of Missouri after spending more than 2 decades on death row. Williams, who had two previous executions stayed, maintained he was innocent in a 1998 fatal stabbing of Felicia Gayle in a St. Louis suburb, and a wide swath of people had opposed his death sentence. An attorney representing Williams argued there was racial discrimination in selecting jurors and that DNA evidence in this case was mishandled. Williams was denied a last minute reprieve from the U.S. Supreme Court after Missouri's top court and governor rejected his clemency request early this week. In a rare move, the three liberal justices on the U.S. Supreme Court, Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, and Ketanji Brown Jackson, said on Tuesday they disagreed with the conservative majority and would have granted a stay. They did not give a reason. Missouri Department of Corrections Communications Director Karen Pajman said no witnesses for Miss Gayle's family attended the execution. CBS, the BBC's U.S. partner, reported. Williams' son and two of his attorneys were present. At his trial, prosecutors said Williams broke into Miss Gayle's home in August 1998 and stabbed her 43 times with a large butcher knife before stealing her purse and her husband's laptop. Miss Gayle was a social worker and former reporter at the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Lawyers for Williams had said there were concerns over the handling of the case, arguing black jurors were wrongly excluded from his trial. They also said there was no forensic evidence linking Williams to the crime scene and that the murder weapon had been mishandled, raising questions over DNA evidence. The trial prosecutor had said he followed procedure at the time by touching the murder weapon without gloves after it was tested in a crime lab. Williams had requested clemency from Missouri's Republican governor, Mike Parson, which was denied. We hope this gives finality to a case that's languished for decades, re-victimizing Miss Gayle's family, Parson said in a statement. No juror, no judge has ever found Williams' innocence claimed to be credible. Many people, including British billionaire Richard Branson, campaigned against the execution, the third in Missouri this year. Mr. Branson told the BBC early on Tuesday that he had spent part of the day focused on the Williams case. He's an innocent person, he said. Even the prosecuting counsel has told the governor they should not. This man is innocent. The victim's family has supported a life sentence instead of the death penalty, while local prosecutors had pressed to have the conviction overturned. His execution has been stayed twice, once in 2017 and once in 2015, due to the discovery of male DNA on a murder weapon that did not match Williams. The state's then governor, Eric Greitens, a Republican, formed a panel to examine the case after granting the second stay, but he then left office amid a scandal and a panel never formed a conclusion. Damn, that's messed up. That's messed up. Also concerned about the DNA, the local prosecuting attorney, Wesley Bell, requested a hearing. But at that point, it was discovered that the DNA evidence was spoiled from someone in the prosecutor's office touching the knife without gloves, and the hearing was canceled. So let me stop real quick, y'all, and let me say this. Now, if you work in the prosecutor's office, you know off the top that you do not touch evidence, DNA evidence, without gloves. You don't touch anything without gloves. So I kind of feel that by someone doing that, they did that intentionally. That was done on purpose because they knew what was going to end up happening because they touched the knife without gloves. You work at the prosecutor's office and you didn't know not to do this, or you didn't know to have gloves on your hands before you touched evidence. So just like I said, that was on purpose. So anyway, y'all, back to the article. This outcome did not serve the interests of justice, Mr. Bell said in a statement on Tuesday. If there is even a shadow of a doubt of innocence, the death penalty should have never been an option. So y'all hear what he's saying? He says that if there is even the shadow of a doubt of innocence, the death penalty should not never be an option. Which we go back up to right here about somebody from the prosecutor's office touching the knife without gloves. So yeah, they didn't have to unalive this man. They did not have to unalive him. They didn't have to unalive him because just like it says right here, that there in which there was a shadow of a doubt about this man's innocence. So the death penalty should have been, it should have been life. They should have just given him life in prison, like the victim's family suggested, like they asked. But they still unalive this man. So anyway, y'all, back to the article. Midwest Innocence Project, a legal group whose attorneys represented Williams, worked to reach an agreement with the prosecutor's office that Williams would enter a non-contest plea to first-degree murder in exchange for life in prison. But the Missouri Supreme Court blocked the agreement and ruled the death sentence would stand. Okay. Mr. Williams' story echoes that of too many others caught in our country's broken criminal legal system, the Innocence Project said in a statement. A black man convicted of killing a white woman. Mr. Williams maintained his innocence until the very end. So, yeah, why? I'm about to ask a question that I already know the answer to, because I was about to say, why would they execute this man if there was a shadow of a doubt of innocence, just like this was said, Mr. Bell said right here, that the death penalty should have been off the table. And there were things that happened, things that happened that should have, yeah, this is crazy. This is just crazy. But just like I said, I'm asking a question to that I already know the answer to, because living in this country, well, I've never lived in any, I'm talking about living in this country like I've ever lived in any other country, which I've never lived anywhere outside of the United States of America, but I also know the history of this country. I'm an African American, so there's a lot of history in this country involving African Americans in situations that were unjust. It's just really, it's just really sad. It's just really sad for African Americans, y'all. Just like I said, it's sad for any black. If your skin is dark, I don't care what country you're in. It's you're kind of shunned upon. So it's not just over here in the United States of America, but we have, I mean, the history of the way that is been African Americans has been treated in this country. And then to hear situations like this, and then the sad part about it is that it's not even surprising or shocking. It's not even surprising or shocking. We'll talk about it and it'll happen again. We can talk about it and complain about it and do all of that. My thing, a couple of things with this right here. For one, if the victim's family asks that they not unalive this man and that they just gave him life in prison, the victim's family asked for that. And that was denied. And then the thing with the DNA evidence, with someone working in the prosecutor's office touching the DNA evidence without gloves, contaminating it. And this man has been maintaining his innocence from the start, but yet they still unalived him. And it's just not even a question in everybody's mind, but everyone, definitely black people, African Americans, are most African Americans anyway, are we're not shocked and surprised and not asking ourselves anything really, because what can we ask? What can we say other than the fact that they knew that they were wrong for doing this? But this is the history of what African Americans go through in this country. If he was of any other, if he was white, just say it like that. If he was white, they probably he may have would have gotten, well, I'm not going to say he may have would have gotten out of jail, but they twist the laws around to work in whichever way that they want them to work. So I don't know. He could have gotten out and been out of jail by now, but they probably would not have executed him. If it was this type of if it was this type of stuff going on, just like I said, the handling of the evidence for one, and then the victim's family asking that they not unalive this man, and all of those were denied. If he was white, he probably, like I said, he probably would either be out of jail right now or he would still be alive. But this was a black man who was convicted of killing a white woman. So we already know how the country's looking at him. So it's just sad, y'all. It's just so sad for African Americans. That's why I say all the way around, we don't have any type of protection. African Americans, we as black people, we can't even trust each other. We can't even trust each other. We're out here unaliving each other on the levels of, We complain and march about what the police are doing and someone outside of our race, what they're doing, but we're within our own race and we are doing too much. So then it makes it look like when they do things, it's just all crazy. But anyway, y'all, R.I.P. to Mr. Williams, Marcellus Williams, y'all, R.I.P. to him. And at the end of the day, it's the country that we live in. It's the United States of America. None of this is shocking or surprising when it comes to black males, when it comes to African American males, and especially if they are convicted of unaliving or doing something to a white person. So again, y'all, just like I said, RIP to Marcellus Williams, and thank y'all for watching my video. I'm out.